Good morning, everyone. It's Karen Whooley. Welcome to this week's Live Wednesday. I'm so excited you guys are all here. I'm going to head over to the chat. I just want to let you guys know my voice is still a little off. I'm feeling a lot better. Thankfully, thank God. I have been very really good about resting this last week with my sinus infection and taking my meds and stuff. So I feel better, but it's all in my throat now. So if I sound a little rusty, I just want to let you know that's the reason. I'm going to go over to chat and see who's all here. Good morning, Linda. It's so good to see you. I'm so glad you guys are here. Daisy too. And chilly is the word of the day, I think, for me too. It is really chilly out there. It's 42 degrees outside here in South Central Washington State. I'm so used to saying Western Washington. I'm no longer in Western Washington. South Central. I'm in the high desert, but it's 42 degrees and sunny out there. So it's cold. Good morning, Laura. I'm so glad you're here too. And I bet you are having some warm weather after all the Hurricane Ian. Did you guys get hit at all with that? I know a couple people in Florida, I know we're kind of on the outskirts of it, but I don't know if you guys survived. So, I mean, I'm sure you survived, but I mean, if you got hit with it or if you just got the aftermath of the rain and the wind and stuff like that. So hopefully everything's well. And Lynn, it's so good to see you here. I'm so glad you joined us today. And thank you, the Lord, for this morning and everyone in the chat. Agreed 100%. I agree with that. So I'm so glad you're here. Did either of you see the pictures? He has the chubby cheeks. I should try to find, he just turned 4 months old on Saturday and my daughter posted pictures yesterday. And unfortunately I use my phone right now as my camera. So I can't grab the pictures and show them here. Next week I won't have, I'll have a new camera that I'm going to be using for live streams. So hopefully I'll be able to share a picture of him. But yes, he has very chubby cheeks and he's such a cutie. And I'm so excited to be a nonna. So he's so cute. Good morning, Stephanie. So good to see you here. And you had a first freeze warning this morning. Oh, wow. Okay. So Texas is getting some cold too. It's interesting. This part of Washington does get colder than where the west side was, but I don't remember last year being this cold in mid-October. But, you know, last year is a blur. I mean, the pandemic was a blur. So, and cancer treatments and all that, it made everything a blur. So it could have been, and I just don't know. But yeah, good morning. I'm glad you're here. And Susanna, good morning. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am glad I'm feeling better too. I spent probably the better part of last week after the live stream. I mean, sleeping in every morning till about 8, which is unheard of for me. So yeah, I'm really glad I'm feeling better too. I'm getting more done this week. Good morning, LMA. It's good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. And Kelly, good morning. I'm so glad you're here too. And Colleen, I haven't seen you in a while. Good morning. I'm so glad you are here. Oh my goodness, everyone. It's so good to see all these people who haven't been around a little bit. And Susanna, good morning to everyone. Oops, and let me get Laura's here first and then I'll get to you, Judy. Hang on. You didn't get to had just the typical winds, the swamp in the back. Oh, that's good. I'm so glad that the hurricane didn't affect you too badly. But the winds still, I can't even imagine. I was telling a friend of mine who lives in Florida. She lives I think she's just a little bit south of Orlando or west of Orlando. I can't remember. But she was telling me about what was going on there. And I told her that I would rather live in the land of earthquakes than the land of hurricanes, because at least with an earthquake, you don't know it's coming. It just happens. And for me, I'd rather have it just happen and not have all the stress of the preparing for that. So I don't know how you guys do it. My hat's off to you for living somewhere where that can happen. Good morning, Judy. I'm so glad you're here in Ontario. Yeah, colder here than the last few years. Yeah, it's been interesting how the weather has changed so suddenly. At least for me, here too. It just got really cold all of a sudden. Susanna, self-care for the win. Sometimes, you know, I am one of those people who have always put everyone else first. As a mom, I mean, those of you who are moms probably know that your kids always come first, and even your husband sometimes too, especially when they're sick. And when I'm sick, I've learned, I think the cancer diagnosis is really what finally made me realize that I have to put myself first once in a while too. So, yeah. So this last week has been interesting, but I am feeling so much better. So yeah, self-care is huge. And Linda says she lives in the land of tornadoes. I couldn't live in the land of tornadoes either. I mean, give me an earthquake. I grew up in California. I was in college. It was in my last year, my senior year of college, when the big earthquake in San Francisco hit, and that's where my family lives, and that's where I grew up. I was in college in the north. I was above Sacramento in college, and the big one in '89 that collapsed the Bay Bridge and all of that, and I'll never forget it because I was in the middle of midterms when it happened. And my mom calls me and she says, "I'm fine." And I said to her, "Well, I didn't know you had a doctor's appointment." And she says, "No, you haven't turned on the news." I said, "Mom, I'm in the middle of midterms." And she goes, "Turn on the news. We had a big earthquake over here." And so I turned on the news, and sure enough, I saw the big '89 earthquake. And I didn't feel a thing. I hadn't heard about it because I was so focused. I hadn't even talked to my sorority sisters. I was at my apartment studying. I had gone to a midterm earlier that day, and then I came straight home, fixed myself some food, and started studying for the next one. So, but I was engaged to my husband, David, at the time, and he had already graduated, and he was working with his dad. And so the next thing I was doing was calling to see if he was okay, because I knew he was driving home from work when it hit. So, or just shortly after it hit. I can't remember if he was in the building or not, in the work building, but he had a long commute with his dad. He and his dad worked for the same company at the time. So yeah, I would just rather have that than know something's coming. I know it's just weird that way, but that's who I am. And Stephanie lives in those too. Yeah, Texas gets the tornadoes too. You guys, I guess it's the Midwest or the middle of the country that gets the tornadoes mostly. I know that I've heard that Florida's had a few. I know here in Washington we've had a few in different areas, not ever where I have lived, but yeah, that's something. But earthquakes are, I have lived through so many earthquakes, being woken up from a dead sleep with the house shaking. When we first moved here to Washington, my kids were, Cassie was 17 months and Tyler was, I guess he was they're 22 months apart. So he was 3 when we had an earthquake. My husband was out of town, and I just remember that the 3 of us, I had Cassie in my arms, she's crying. I have Tyler clinging to my leg, he's crying, and we're standing in the doorway of my bedroom on the second floor. And that was the first time I had ever been in an earthquake on a second level. Because all the house I grew up in and everywhere I lived, even when I was in college and in California, it was always a single level. So feeling the building go like this was a new experience for me. But yeah, I'd rather have that and not know it's coming than the earthquakes and the tornadoes. Yes, I know you guys get earthquakes too, but we get them so much more often than I've heard in the Midwest. And then it's interesting because living in Seattle, I don't know if you guys, those of you who follow football, I don't remember when it was it 2010, 2012? We had the playoff game where the Seahawks were playing the Saints, and the running back ran into him for a touchdown, but it was like a 80-yard run he did, and the stands were shaking so bad they actually set off the Richter scale here in Washington. So they thought it was like a mini earthquake. You probably heard about beast mode. So yeah, that was that was a cool one. If you like football and you didn't see that one, look it up on YouTube. I know it's on YouTube. And Marshawn Lynch's beast mode run that set off the Richter scales and all of the measurements for the earthquake. So yeah, that's kind of funny. Let's see. Laura says, I have my yarn stash on the second floor for good reason. Mine's on the first floor, on the second floor. So yeah, that's a good idea. Mine's on the second floor too. So yeah, never know. We get earthquakes too. The first one I felt was many years ago. I thought it was a big, yeah. It's interesting. As a kid growing up in California, I mean, I remember being woken up many times in the middle of the night, just with a minor shock of, because the plates move, and in California, you could feel everything. And my parents' house is actually sitting on the San Andreas Fault. So when the big one happened in 1989, when I came home from college after that earthquake, for a visit, I don't know if it was after the holidays or something, they had cracks in their stucco from that earthquake. That was the first time I've ever seen anything, any sort of damage on their house ever. But I just remember even in grammar school being, my mom used to wake us up, make sure we were woken up to go to school on time. And one morning I woke up and she wasn't waking us up. And I realized that they had called and said that the school was canceled because the earthquake was enough that it was doing, I don't know if it was damage to the school or if it was the roads were bad. I don't remember, but I just remember that a couple times that had happened where I couldn't go to school. So yeah. Oh, Colleen, yes, 12s, baby. Yes, us 12s. And how was that game this week? That was awesome. So I'm really excited. I'm a big football fan for those of you guys who don't know. I grew up with the Oakland Raiders, and I will always bleed silver and black. I just will always bleed silver and black. Even though they're in Las Vegas now, I am still a Raiders fan. But I am a humongous Seahawks fan too. So I have a little bit of blue and green in my blood as well. So the only time I say that I don't care who wins is when the Raiders play the Seahawks, because they're both my teams. So anyway, okay, guys. So let's get to the giveaway. I am going to put on the screen what I'm giving away this week. I don't have a sample of it, and I don't have a physical pattern for it. So I'm going to show you from my website here really quick. I am giving away Falling Leaves. I'm going to put that one in like that, so you can see it a little bit bigger. Falling Leaves is, I thought this was appropriate for fall, since it is fall and all the leaves here are starting to fall off the trees. So I thought I would share this one with you. It is a side-to-side shawl that you work the main field first, and then you add the edging later. It's easy. It's a fun shawl to make. You only need 425 yards. It's a single skein of fingering weight yarn. So if you have a single skein that you think might be great for this pattern, definitely enter to win this pattern. If you don't have it, the only person who is not eligible this week is Charlene. I don't know if Charlene is here or not yet, but Charlene is the only one not eligible because she won last week. So let me stop sharing this one, and then I am going to put up the code word that you need to type in to win this week. Hang on one second. I have got to find it. There we go. There we go. So you are going to type in #leaves if you would like to enter to win a copy of Falling Leaves. So go ahead and put that in chat. Make sure you have the hashtag in front, because if you don't have the hashtag in front, you won't be able to win that pattern. It won't track you as a a winner or as an entry. Sorry, guys. Again, I'm still on my medication. I'm on my antibiotics for the sinus infection, and it does give me a little bit of brain fog, just so you guys know. So falling leaves is today's pattern. I'm going to leave that up for another second or two, and then I'm going to take it off. Okay. So today's topic is the new Crochet Crew. And those of you who are part of the Pattern Club, also known as the Crochet Crew this year, you guys got a little taste of this in September when I did a little bit of a talk about how things are going to change next year. There's more changes, and I think it's finalized now, way it's going to be. And I was originally, I don't know if you guys saw, but yesterday I was going to do a do today's topic on gauge, and then I realized I'd already done gauge, and I just want to put this up here for a second too. I am out of topic ideas for you guys for the rest of the year. So if you have something that you would like me to cover that I have not covered yet, please go to this link and leave me the topic idea. Seriously, I went through all of the things that people have talked about that in my survey for people who join my newsletter, things that the survey actually came up with that I had last year for my newsletter, or not last year, last month for my newsletter subscribers. I'm sorry, guys. I am completely out of ideas because everything's been done, and the things that haven't been done, I have to do a full-blown class on. There's no way I can just do a mini, half-hour lesson here. So I need ideas. I really, really need ideas. So give me your ideas. Go to that forum, fill them out. As soon as I get a few, I will schedule them for the rest of the remaining part of the year. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 and 4 is 9. I need 10 more topics for the rest of the year. I don't foresee me being out of the office at any time in the next 10 weeks. So definitely give me your ideas. I need them. So, okay. Let me take that off for a second. I just saw here. I don't have a list of the things I've already covered that I can actually post here. But if you go to my YouTube channel and go under live streams, you can see all the topics I've covered. I mean, if you just go through them, most of them have some of them have it in the title. And then the ones that don't have the title before I started putting it in the title, you can read the descriptions. I've done gauge. I've done a little bit on Tunisian. I've done weaving in ends. I've done, what else have I done? I've talked about stitch dictionaries. I've talked about, I'm trying to think, all the topics. If anybody knows of some of the topics, just post them in here. I won't use this list, obviously, for ideas, but please send me topics. You can, even if you want to just shoot me an email with a topic, that's great too. So, oh, you have falling leaves. It is a sweet pattern. I'd say it's an easy pattern. It's a great stash buster shawl because it only uses one skein. And I know a lot of us have just a single skein of a color that we absolutely loved. So it's perfect for that. Okay, so let's talk about the Crochet Crew. Now, before I start sharing the screen, I want to talk about what it is right now. Okay, so back in late November, early December, late November, I started talking about the 2022 Pattern Club. It's called Shawls on the Side. All of the shawls that are in the Pattern Club are worked from side to side. We are now through October. There's 2 more coming out, November and December. And if you would like to join this current one, it is still open. It will close for the year on December, I'm looking at my calendar, December 9th. That's when I will close registration because the last pattern for the year will drop on the 12th of December. And then after that, there won't be any more patterns for this year. So with the Crochet Crew for this year, okay, I renamed it the Crochet Crew in June and reopened registration. But in December, it was the Pattern Club, okay? The people who joined in December are the founding members because they took a chance on it. Most of them paid for the full year upfront, and I had discounted pricing for them in December to join it. And then I shut the registration off and then revamped it all, got a logo for the Crochet Crew. I already knew it was going to be called the Crochet Crew. I just couldn't do it till I got the logo and got everything else figured out. And in June, I reopened it, and then people joined starting in June. I think I got like 5 new people. I did not promote it hugely because I wanted to see where it was going to go. And that was part of it. And then over the summer with my daughter and all the things, my grandson, I just couldn't do it. And so by the time September rolled around, I was like, okay, I'm not going to do a heavy promotion for this, but I do have it at the bottom of my newsletter. If you're a newsletter subscriber, you see it every month, I think, still on the bottom of my newsletter. If not, I have to add it back. But if you're interested, you can go to my website, and at the very top, it says, if you're looking for the Crochet Crew, click here or whatever, you click that link and it'll bring you to the platform what I'm using this year for the Crochet Crew. Now, there's a caveat to this, is that the platform I'm using right now for the rest of the year is going away next year because it is terrible. And the people who are here, who are part of the Crochet Crew, can say, yes, Karen, it's terrible. And I will be the first one, and I hate it. And I know a lot of people have been frustrated. So it's going away. I don't want to switch things over yet because there's a lot of things there that are posted for previous patterns that people want. I'm trying to work on getting a lot of the videos and stuff figured out, how to get those into the new system. But anyway, so you can just continue. You can join the Crochet Crew. I would recommend, if you plan to join the Crochet Crew, do the monthly option, not the yearly option. Well, I don't think I even have the yearly option anymore. Right there. Yeah, Podia is very terrible. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate it. It's terrible. And so that's why it's changing. Okay, so let me tell you what happens this year. This year is literally, it's just a pattern club for the most part. There's the platform where people can chat. I post how they can get the pattern for free because they pay. They get the pattern for free every month. They get a Zoom call for, it's usually about a half an hour these days. Sometimes it's gone an hour. It went an hour over. I think it went about an hour in September because I had to cover 2 patterns because my daughter was so sick in August. I could not do the August pattern, so I did the August and September patterns. And that's pretty much what the Crochet Crew is it's literally a pattern club. So now I'm going to share the screen and I'm going to show you what the new Crochet Crew is going to be. So this is on my website, but it's not a live post yet because it's not going to launch until I think it's December 1st. But I will be doing some promotion before then. But I wanted to give you a preview of it so that you guys can see what's coming. Now, those of you who are founding members that are here, that signed up last year, I am going to do a special Zoom call or video for you guys for founding members because because you took a chance on me the last year, you guys get some perks that are a little bit different. Well, it's not different. You're getting the same stuff. You're just getting one extra little perk that that I don't want to share here because it's just for the 21 of you who joined right in December. Okay, so this is the new Crochet Crew landing page that will be live on December 1st. Okay. And this is what I was talking about earlier. I'm going to pull this up here really quick. Up here at the top of every page of my website, right here, if you want to sign up for the last 2 patterns of the pattern club, you can do that here. So you just click there. That'll bring you to the current Podia site. You can subscribe and you can get the last 2 patterns. Okay, so the Crochet Crew. So I'm going to show you what the benefits are this year. Okay, so the first thing that's going to happen is that I'm going to just do some things here. Okay, so right here, you're going to get access to a growing catalog of ad-free video instruction. I am working on creating a bunch of pages on my website that are going to have video on them, that are all the videos you see that are the how-tos and the pattern, learning how to do a pattern. I'm trying to think of what patterns. I have videos for Queen of Hearts, and I have video for Modern Metro right now. Those are going to be also on my website behind a paywall, which is for the Crochet Crew, that you will be able to watch those ad-free. I know there's a lot of people out there who don't like YouTube because there's so many ads. And this is a way to be able to get them ad-free. You're going to have access to the private community. Now, this year it's Podia. Next year, what I've decided to do is I'm going to use Facebook. I know a lot of people don't like Facebook, but I'm going to have a Facebook group that's private for the Crochet Crew. If after 2023, we are growing, there is another platform that I am actually a part of for another, for a Christian organization that I am a part of, that uses this platform. But the problem is that it costs a lot, but it is a beautiful program. And it's called Circle, and it's beautiful. And it's got places for video. It's got places for Zoom calls. It's got places for all sorts of things. So if we grow enough and I can afford to go to that platform, I will leave Facebook and we will move to this other platform. But for now, it's going to be a private group. And every month, depending on how you do it, I'm going to be verifying who's still a member, who's not a member, before the patterns drop. And if you're no longer a member, if you decide that, you're paying month to month and you decide you're not going to be a part of the crew anymore, I will remove you from the group at the beginning of every month. So that's just something to think about in the future. We're going to have free crochet alongs. Usually I charge for my crochet alongs. It's usually the cost of the pattern. I might be charging a little more this year. And I definitely won't be doing what I've been doing in the past is I start week 1. I usually start announcing the crochet along a week, 4 weeks before it starts. And week 1 of the marketing, it's the lowest price you can get it. And then week 2 goes up $1, usually 3 goes up $1. Week 4 goes up $1. And then week 5, when we launch the crochet along, it's the full price of the pattern. You will get that for free. I give you a code so that you can sign up for free. I'm going to do 3 to 4 a year. I'd like to do 1 every quarter. I don't know that next year I can. I am planning to do a mystery crochet along next year too. So that's one of the things. But what I will tell you is the first one for 2023 is going to start January 1st. And it's going to be a different kind of crochet along. It's going to be the full quarter, and it's going to be a finish your whips crochet along. So all of us have those projects that are sitting in a quarter somewhere that we've started and we haven't finished. And what we're going to do with this one is we are going to at the first day of the crochet along, we are going to show all the whips we want to finish over the 3-month period. And then we'll just be chatting about what we finished in the group. We'll talk about what we've finished, show finished projects, and then I'll have a form that you will fill out each time you do you finish a WIP, and then there will be some prizes at the end of the quarter. So that's what the first one's going to be. So if you're excited about that, that one is going to be for the Crochet Crew only. I'm not opening that one up to the public. So if that is something of interest to you, I highly recommend that you join us when I open registration in December. Free new pattern releases. So instead of doing a pattern club like I did last year, you are going to get a free pattern every time I release a pattern. Next year, that's 12 patterns that I'm releasing, plus whatever I decide to do for the crochet alongs. So if you're interested in getting all of my patterns for release for free, you will get that as part of what the crew's costs are. And next year, I can tell you that of the 12 patterns, 7 of them are shawls, and that just happens to be how things fell this year. 7 of them are shawls. 3, 4, 5, 6 of those shawls were done for other projects, and that's why I had to hold them back, and I'm releasing them to the public next year. So that's why there's 7 shawls. There's 2 cowls. There's 1 fingerless mitt. There's 1 head ear warmer. There's 1 poncho. Okay, so those are the 12 patterns that are coming out. I know a lot of people don't like shawls necessarily, or I have seen too many shawls from me lately. Next year, I'm going to be doing a lot more variety of patterns because I'm not doing the pattern club thing anymore. So so as I create patterns, you'll get different things. So I am definitely going to be releasing a variety of patterns from now on. And because of what the survey told me this last month, I am definitely going to be doing a lot more. Okay, so you also get discounts throughout the year that are only for the crew. So as part of the cost, you'll get extra sales on patterns and my books. And also next year, I'm starting to do more online classes again because now that the cancer treatments are over, I'm feeling better. I'm speaking for the most part better, so I can teach better. You'll get discounts on taking classes. I am releasing a new book next summer, so you'll get a discount, a Crochet Crew only discount on that book. You will also get additional sales. So my newsletter, will always get a discount code for when I release a new pattern. You will get that pattern free. But if there's other patterns you want, you can wait till I do a special code throughout the year. I probably will only do like 2 or 3 at the most every year. But that's something for you guys to note as well. And we'll also be doing a monthly live chat with me and other crew members. This is going to be via Zoom. So it's going to be kind of like a guild meeting type of thing, where once a month I have a Zoom call, and anybody who's part of the crew can join the chat. And you bring your crochet, bring your coffee or a beverage you like, or snacks or whatever, and we'll sit and chat. You can ask me questions. We can just talk about life, get to know each other, kind of like an online guild meeting. So that's kind of what the Crochet Crew, just to get to know each other, because being virtual and everybody around the country, around the world even, because I fully expect at some point I'll have some international people coming in. Judy is here from Canada, so you never know. Somebody may join us and be in another part of the world, and we can get to know these people. We're also going to do every week in the Facebook group, I will do a live stream, kind of like what I'm doing now, for 30 minutes with behind the scenes. Okay, and that's going to change up what I'm doing here on the lives. So I don't want to let you know. I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes, but it's going to be every week for 30 minutes, maybe 35. Sometimes they might go over, but it's going to be the behind the scenes stuff. It's going to be what's new in the studio. It's going to be what I'm working on. You'll be the first to see actually what I am working on. I will, I'll talk about other things that are coming up, when the studio, if I have new patterns coming out, whatever it is, we will talk about that. And you'll have a chance to ask me questions that you can't ask me anywhere else. So that's what that'll be. And then, of course, it'll be either you can pay monthly or you can do a yearly one and done payment. And so that's kind of where we are, what I'm going to be doing with the crew. So how does this change? I'm not going to give you pricing yet because I'm still working out the pricing. I have pricing at the bottom of the page. I don't want to give you the whole pricing yet because I'm still kind of tinkering with that. So the community, but what it will allow you to do, there'll be two options. You can pay either month to month, or you can pay for the full year up front. And if you pay for the full year up front, you get a month for free. And if you join in December, there's going to be a discount code so that you'll get an extra 10% off of the full year price. I can't do it for month to month. It just doesn't work with the software, but I can do a full year price where I give you a discount for the first year. So it's something to think about. We are a community. That's what I'm trying to do, is build a community here. Also trying to come up with other ideas, because one of the things I want to do, and I was hoping to do it in 2023, but I just, with all the things that have happened over the last year, I was planning to do a fall virtual retreat where we would do like a series of classes for the crew, but that's just, unfortunately, I just can't do that this year. There's too many things going on. But as we go forward, I want to do virtual retreats. I want to do a live retreat at some point. If you guys are interested in traveling somewhere, or if I travel somewhere and we, have like a hotel that has a classroom that we can go to and do some classes and have some community and do stuff together, or maybe do like a yarn shop crawl in wherever area we do this retreat in, that kind of thing. So I want you guys to know that this is a way to build community and to just to get to know each other. I mean, I feel like I'm getting to know a lot of you who are here on these YouTube streams. But I have a lot of other subscribers out there that don't come to the YouTube lives and that aren't part of the Pattern Club. And this is a way for us to get to know each other. So I'm going to go over to chat. I'm going to take this off the screen and see what you guys are saying. Okay, so Linda says, oh boy, no ads. Love it. Okay. How exciting. I'm excited too. I'm really excited about this. I'm only an entire year to finish my website. Well, that's why for this first crochet along that I'm going to do for the crew only is you are going to pick. It doesn't have to be all the whips. I mean, if you have like 3 and you can finish 1 a month, that's great. But if you have like 100, you pick however many you think you can finish. I mean, I know so many people have, a blanket that maybe was done in squares and they have all the squares done. They just haven't sewn them together and edged it. They can finish that. That's not a hard thing to do. Or they have a sweater that all it really needs is the finishing work, that, maybe the cuffs and the bands around the neck, and if it's a cardigan, down the front and the buttons sewn on, and then block it. That's finishing a project. So I'll have some rules about what you can and can't do. I mean, for the most part, though, is just getting those whips out of the corner or out of the back of the closet or out of your shelves and actually finishing them. I know I have several that are sitting by my chair that are for personal projects that I need to get working on. So there you go. Stephanie said, love it. Always looking for time to turn on. Yes, maybe I need to get those finished objects going. Have you covered stitch to fit? Tell me what you mean by that, Colleen. Are you talking about like a sweater to make it fit you? That's not something I can do in a half an hour. That would be a class, and I'd have to actually create that class. So if that's what you're talking about, no, I haven't covered it. because I can't, that's just not something I can do in an hour show. So, but it's something that, whether it's a tip or a trick or a new stitch, if you want me to teach you a new stitch, something like that is one thing. But actually to fit somebody like a garment, I can't. That's just impossible to do in a half an hour. So, okay. It'll be a very fun crochet crew. I'm really excited about it. I am really, really excited about it. When it comes to the other crochet alongs, I should mention this too, is that they'll be open to the public, but they will have a different place for people to engage. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, if I'm going to do it via Zoom or if I'm going to be doing it in an open Facebook group. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do yet for that. But for this first crochet along, or for this, I'm going to call it crochet along, because even though we're not all working together on the same projects, it's only for the crew. It's going to be like a yearly thing that in January we're going to start a quarterly let's finish our whips, kind of get the new year off to a good start kind of thing. Okay. I would love a guild. Well, that's what kind of the Crochet Crew is going to be. It's going to be a community. It's going to be a virtual guild, but not really a guild, because unless you guys decide you want to do like a service project that we can do virtually, if somebody wants to take that on, that kind of thing, we can do stuff like that. But it won't be officially in a guild, but it'll be that style, those meetings, those hour-long Zoom calls. Judy says, yay, Canada. Yep, everybody's invited. So worldwide to join us. Will you still be doing YouTube lives here? Okay, that's what I was going to talk about next. Let me answer a couple questions. I'll get back to that one, Susanna. Hang on one second. You're willing to sign up for a year, no problem. Is it? Yes, it's still a whip if it's not blocked. I mean, those are the kinds of things that people leave them in the closet and don't finish it because they don't do the finishing work. And I include blocking as part of the finishing work. Judy loves crochet alongs, but not mystery ones. I understand that. When I do mystery ones, I do tell you if it's going to be a shawl or it's going to be a cowl or it's going to be something in that. I won't tell you what it looks like, but I will tell you it's a shawl, it's a garment, it's whatever it is, it's going to be. I haven't decided what this year's mystery one's going to be yet, but that is something, just so you guys know, that I do tell you that. Okay, Judy says that's good. Okay, okay. So going back to Susanna's question, because I am going to be doing the behind the scenes stuff weekly on YouTube. It's going to be kind of it's going to be done on Mondays. It's going to be like the start of our week. It's only going to be 30 minutes. It's going to be only in the Facebook group for the crew. What I have decided to do is I'm changing the YouTube lives here. And this is why I do a survey every year. And if you're not a member of my newsletter, you don't get the survey, because I feel like the people who are on my newsletter are the people who are engaged with what it is that I do, and they know what they'd like to see from me. Does that make sense? So I asked them what kind of things they'd like to see from me going forward, and I did things like, crochet alongs, interviews, giveaways, that kind of thing. And one of the biggest things that I think it was the highest. I have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure if it's not the highest, it was the second highest thing that people wanted me to do were interviews with industry people. So like interviews with dyers, interviews with other crochet designers, that kind of thing. So way my YouTube lives are going to work next year, starting January 1st, okay, is I'm only going to do 2 lives a month. 2 lives a month. Right now, it looks like it might be the second and last Wednesdays of the month. It might be the first and third. I haven't decided 100% yet. One of those will be an interview. It'll be an interview with a dyer, a crochet designer. If there's someone else out there in the crochet industry that people would like to hear about, let me know. Whether it could be, a bigger yarn company, I could bring, maybe someone from Cascade Yarns or, those kind of people on to meet you guys and talk to you guys and do stuff like that. So that is kind of where I'm going to be with YouTube. At least the first live will be an interview. The second live will be more of what you see like right now, whether it's me talking about something new. It's going to be talking about, what's new, what I've been working on, that kind of thing. But it'll be things that I can show you. Whereas in the crew, you're going to get the behind the scenes stuff. If I'm working on a book, you're going to get to see the samples that I'm working on for the book that I would not show here to the public, stuff like that. So that is kind of why I need to switch this up. I also need to, one of the things I have been praying so much about lately is how to figure out my time. Because not only am I a crochet designer and I usually work 8 hours a day in my crochet design business, whether it's doing book work, behind the scenes, accounting, all that kind of stuff, fixing my website, doing stuff for the Crochet Crew, doing stuff for, YouTube lives, all that stuff. It feels like I am working harder than what I should be, and I'm letting other things slack. And then when something happens in my family, like with my daughter, I have to just drop everything. So I'm trying to figure out ways to free up some of my time. So that is why I'm dropping the YouTubes to twice a month. And if I don't have somebody scheduled, it may be just the last show of the month, whatever week it is that I decide that I'm going to be doing them. Just so that you guys know what's going on. I feel like that if I'm going to ask people to join a membership club like this, that they should be the ones getting all of the extra perks, whether it's an educational thing and whether it's a, and that doesn't mean that I won't be posting videos here. I will be posting videos because what'll happen is that I will, for the ad-free stuff, I will post them to the Crochet Crew first. They will get, I don't know how many days. I haven't figured out what day of the week I'm going to post them there first. And then I will move them into YouTube as well. So for example, a good example here is every pattern coming up starting January 1st is going to have a video to go with it. Okay. So at least one. And so what'll happen is I'll drop those videos, and in the pattern, I will put the YouTube video for that pattern. But inside the Crochet Crew in the Facebook group, I will post that when those videos go live for you guys that are ad-free, if you want to watch them ad-free, that kind of thing. So that's the kind of things that I will be doing as far as YouTube is concerned. I'm also trying to, one of the things, you guys, I don't know if I talked about this before, but the cost of designing patterns is tremendous. And most of my patterns, not all of them, but most of my patterns have lost money. I mean, regardless of what the sales are, because there's not only is my time involved, there's paying for a tech editor, paying for photography, paying for someone to lay out the patterns, because I don't lay them out myself. I have a graphic artist who does those for me. Same thing with my books. My books have actually broken even, and I've made money on my books. So because Amazon does a good job of promoting those for me. But still, it's a big big outlay of cash up front. And so I need to find a way to be a little more stable as far as that kind of thing. Because the big number one thing that came out of my survey that I did to my newsletter subscribers is they want more patterns. Over 60% of the people who responded want more patterns. But part of, and those of you, I know my patterns cost a little more than everybody else's. I know a lot of people put out $4 and $5 patterns, and mine are $7, $8, $9. And that's because I need to make back some of that money. And because you're getting a better quality pattern, because I am paying for these things to be professionally done. I am not taking my own photos. I am having a professional do those. I have a tech editor who actually creates the stitch charts and the schematics for me, as well as making sure the patterns read well. So that's one of the reasons why I'm doing a pattern club, because there's so many more things that I want to produce for you guys, because I have all this information after 25 years in the industry, having a grandmother who taught me so many things that I haven't even been able to get out there. I have no way to do that if I don't have a more stable income. And so that's why I'm doing a membership club. And I'm trying to give hope. I'm hoping that the cost will be worth the benefits that you're getting, and you'll be getting more benefits in the future. So I hope that makes sense for you guys, what I'm going to be doing. So that's why I'm going to put a lot of stuff that I do here normally on YouTube behind a paywall, because it's just, it feels like I need, if you're going to give me your hard-earned money, I need to give you a little bit more. So there you go. I hope that makes sense. Let's see. Would you ever ask the crew for suggestions? Yes, that is another thing. In the future going forward, yes, there's going to be times where I might be in a quandary of what to design next, and I have two ideas, and I'd probably give them to you and say, hey, what would you rather see from me, A or B? Or I'm going to be making this sweater. What color would you like to see me make it in, this or this? There'll be things like that. As far as going forward with what is going on in the crew, you'll probably get a survey once in a while, just saying, okay, I'm thinking about doing these things, rank them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. Going forward, what would you like to see the crew evolve to? So I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense, guys. Linda says, I love your patterns, but I don't want you to be chairman. You're so originally heard. It's not that I'm being cheated. It's just that, marketing is very hard, and there's a lot of free patterns out there. And I've talked about this before, that you get what you pay for sometimes. And now that's not to say there aren't some free pattern designers out there that do a fabulous job. But they make money in other ways. I'm not the influencer type. I don't want to be the person on TikTok dancing with somebody's yarn or, that's not me. Okay. That is not me. I have also niched down in what I do in crochet. Just so you guys know, you are not going to see patterns. You might see a few videos out there of older patterns, but anything that I do new is going to be in lace, fingering, and at the thickest DK. I'm going to be doing some videos. In fact, I'm going to be starting next week on one in worsted. You can see back here, I've got all this red heart that I need to work on. Those are going to be videos that'll be both on YouTube and in the ad-free area. So though you'll see stuff like that, and I may use worsted weight in some of my videos to help you see what we're doing, like the stitch definition. If I'm going to do a tutorial on a particular stitch, I may do it in worsted weight, even though the pattern might be done in fingering, so that you can actually see the stitches, that kind of thing. But I have niched down. I have niched down that I am going to be the lace weight and fingering weight designer. So if that's not what you want to see, then maybe the Crochet Crew isn't for you. But if that's something you want to learn, the Crochet Crew might be that for you, because we'll be talking about working with finer yarns and why I use finer yarns. I do not like bulky sweaters in crochet. I mean, there's very few out there that I think are really cool. I think the rest of them look like the Pillsbury Doughboy kind of thing. I mean, you just look like they just look, they don't drape. They don't, I have an Italian lace background. So that's where I am. So that's where my niche is going to be. I'm going to focus on those yarns. And that's not to say I won't do a DK once in a while. In fact, one of the patterns next year is done in DK. I'm trying to think if any of the others are. One for sure, two for sure are done in DK. But everything else is fingering. Except one is lace, but everything else is fingering. So it's so, I feel like I'm targeting a certain market there as well. So that, yes, she is, Linda. Okay, so you guys are all talking to each other. Okay, video done this week, something different. Okay, cool. So you guys are just talking about, okay. So that's just what I wanted to tell you. I will probably unveil pricing in mid-November because I'm going to start marketing in mid-November before I actually open the doors. So I just want to say that this is not like a money grab or anything like that. I do need to have a little bit more income. That is for sure, especially with the way the pandemic has just destroyed the world economy, but also my patterns, there's a lot that goes into them. And in order for me to keep designing for you guys, I need to have a little bit steadier income. So one of the things I should mention too was with the Crochet Crew is that going forward, for the month of December, I will have a discount code if you decide to purchase the full year up front. If you choose not to and you decide to try it out for a few months and do a month-to-month thing, you can always upgrade to the full year, and your year just will start instead of, you'll still get your month-to-month thing, but if you upgrade to the full year, then every year, so let's say you do December, and what'll happen, this I should mention too, is when the way I've got the payments set up is that if you join in December, you'll do your first payment. If you're doing month-to-month, your second payment won't come in until February because it officially doesn't start till January 1st. If you're doing year to year, you'll do your first yearly payment in December, but your next year won't start till January. I have it set up so that it does it that way, so that when you're paying for the next year, you will automatically just start at the beginning of the year. So you're basically getting December free, even though there's really not a whole lot going on in December other than me sending you emails to let you know, here's how to get to the group, here's how to do this, here's how to do that kind of thing. But if you upgrade, then you don't have to worry about the month-to-month payments. You can always downgrade if you decide that you don't want to pay. So like if in December you pay for the full year and then next year you decide you want to do the month-to-month, you can downgrade and just do month-to-month. If you're doing month-to-month and decide you want to do a full year, you can always upgrade, or you can cancel. You can cancel at any time. Unfortunately, I cannot give you a refund on either the yearly or the monthly. So if you are in a yearly payment and decide to cancel, you will still have access to the group until the year is over, that kind of thing. And then for those of you who are paying month to month, you can start anytime in December, but then after that, every first of the month. So like February 1st, March 1st, April 1st, it'll always be the first day of the month that you'll be charged for your monthly payment, because the patterns will be released the second Tuesday of every month. I'm going to do it on the Tuesday because this way too, when I send my newsletters out, it'll be the same day that you guys get the pattern, they get the pattern. Just so that you guys know, that's how it's going to work. So anyway, that's where it is. And so I just want to be upfront with you guys that this is what's going to be happening. This is what's going to be happening with the YouTube. That's why I'm saying I need 10 topics, guys. 10. I just need 10 topics that I can cover, even if it's like a stitch pattern you want to learn. That I may, or crocodile stitch. What else can I do out there? I could do a Delta lace stitch. I could do, a cable stitch that you might, or, you might want me to talk about cables or something like that. Just go to that link. I'm going to put that at the bottom of the screen here really quick. Go to that link. Give me a topic. I really, 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 really need those topics. Okay. So, Kelly, you'll be happy to know that I am planning to do some socks. I am definitely planning to do some socks. I don't have them this coming year, but I am planning to do socks. I'm also going to be teaching my sock class in January. So if anybody wants to take my sock class, in the first newsletter in November, we'll have all the details. And then shortly after that, I'll putting it on social media as well, just so you guys know. Judy says she loves working with the lighter weight yarns. Me too. It's just, my nonna taught me that. And even though she did work with me on the worst weights and stuff too, I just gravitate to what she taught me about lighter weight yarns and how they drape and how they, how you want things to look fine. I like classic sweaters. I like classic shawls. I don't like bulky stuff. Now, I am going to talk about a little bit what bulky, if you want to go a little bulkier, we'll talk about that kind of stuff too. But I just wanted to, how to transfer my patterns to a bulkier weight and if you should or not, that kind of thing. We can talk about too. Suzanne says, love it. My default spinning is thin. Yeah, me too. My spinning is thin too. Sometimes it plies up as DK, but my goal is to get fingering if I can. I'd love to figure out how to get lace weight, but I haven't gotten there yet. I pretty much switched to fingering weight yarns, not to make a shawl that was designed for fingering. She wants worsted. You don't like the way it looks. I know. And that's how I feel too. It's a look thing. And I know I'm not going to appeal to everyone out there, but that's okay. I mean, I want to be the person who is known for the well-written patterns, which I've already had that. Most people know that I thoroughly go through my patterns. There's very rarely do I have a problem with a pattern. In fact, even my graphic artist has commented to me that I have not gone back to her and said, hey, can we reformat this pattern very often? I think I've done it once in the 5 or 6 years. No, she's been with me since 2015. So she's been with me for 7 years. And I have gone back to her once, and that was just in August for my August Pattern Club pattern that we didn't realize we missed a whole section on. That will be released actually next month. So yeah. So that's kind of what I want to be, is the person who's known for using the lighter weight yarns, has really good drape and very well written patterns and classes and that kind of thing. So there you go. I've been edging flannel blankets and worsted yarn. I use it up as I'm going to switch. Oh, good. There's so many people who are suddenly not using worsted anymore. And I know the younger generation really loves those bulky hats and bulky sweaters, and that's okay. And, I did back in the day too. And I think as we get older, we find that there's reasons why not to use worsted. Now, I use worsted for baby blankets because that's just what I like for baby blankets, but and my daughter's was done in a DK for my grandson. So yeah, a lot of people are losing. There is a gap in Catherine's wheel stitch that I have my own workaround for, but regular stitching from a stitch dictionary, that gap's annoying. Yes, I understand, Laura. Catherine's wheel is not something I use very often because I hate that gap too. I do have a sock pattern that has Catherine wheels in it. And that's in my Crochet Rock Socks book. That's one of the things I want to do in the crew too, is do things like tips and tricks on how to get rid of those gaps and things like that. So yeah. Oh, you guys are being really, really chatty today. I'm so glad. I think crochet looks better in lighter weights. I will knit a thicker weight sweater. Yes, exactly, Kelly. Knitting is better in DK, even worsted weight yarns. I have a worsted weight sweater that I'm working on right now that I'm doing in knitting that I started last year and I still need to finish. And that might be my whip for next year if I don't get it done before the end of the year. But yes, I agree with you. I do like lightweight knitting too, but I agree the crochet's definitely better in the lighter weights. Lynn, how and when can we know your yearly price? I would like to join. It'll be my first time. It will be as soon as I get it figured out. I mean, I've got a ballpark figure right now. The people who are in the Crochet Crew currently know what that ballpark figure is, but I'm fussing with it to see if I can make it a little less. I'm not 100% sure that I can. So based on all the things that are happening this year. So, but soon, I will let the pricing be known for sure by the end of November, because December 1st is when it's going to open. And then on December 6th is when, if you're not on my newsletter, I recommend subscribing to my newsletter, because on December 6th, I am going to drop the coupon. And that will give you an additional 10% off the price for the first year. So the other thing I should mention, now that you're talking about pricing, is that for right now, the way the system works is that if you join this year, okay, in December with the discount, you will get 10% off the first year, and then it'll go up to the full price. And everybody after December who joins will have to pay the full price if they go the full year price. If in the future, so let's say 3 years down the road, I need to raise the price for new members, if you are still a yearly paying member, you will pay this year two's price without the discount, because I only giving the discount for the first year for you to try it. And if you don't like it, you can unsubscribe. And if you like it, you can, you'll pay the full year. And every once in a while, I may give a discount for people who want to join, at the beginning of a new year or something like that. Or I might do a coupon for those who are resubscribing or something like that. But so let's say, I'm just going to throw some numbers out there, but let's say it's like $200 for this year. Next year, let's say 3 years down the road, I need to raise it to $300. You would still pay the $200, but the new people would have to pay $300. Does that make sense? There's no way for me to, if you're on a current subscription, I can't change your pricing. So this is the time to get started with it, because you will be locked into the current pricing. So just so you guys know. Laura said, thanks to the show Outlander, I've been looking into historical knitting. Very interesting. Yes, verbiage has definitely changed. I have patterns from my dad's mom, who's English speaking, and her patterns. When I learned to knit socks, I was a member of Ravelry at the time. I had to go into a sock group and say, what does this mean? Because I had no idea what some of the verbiage meant. You just made those socks recently, the Crochet Rock socks with the Catherine wheel. Oh shoot, what's the name of that? It's the Grateful Dead one, right? Deadheads. You made the Deadhead socks. Yay. Oh, Lynn, good. I'm glad you're on my newsletter. Okay, so yeah, so definitely the newsletter. Okay, so let me explain a couple of things. Newsletter subscribers will always get the biggest discount as far as new pattern releases and book. If I do a book release, that kind of thing. If I do a coupon for my newsletter subscribers, because they are the engaged people who are letting me in their inbox. So social media, if you've noticed, on social media, you get 10% off, and my newsletter, you get 25% off. Next year for my newsletter subscribers, just so you know, in case you don't want to join the Crochet Crew, next year newsletter subscribers will get 35% off patterns. Social media will get 0 off. Okay. I made that decision because I don't get that many sales off of social media. If I get 1 per pattern release, that's a lot. I haven't gotten a sale off of social media for a newly released pattern in probably 6 months, just so you guys know. So that's why I've decided to do that. But, okay, so they get a lot of the information first. But because I'm going to have this Crochet Crew where you're actually paying for perks, you'll get deeper. Well, you get the patterns for free, first of all. then you also will get like the behind the scenes stuff. And not to say that I'm not going to post behind the scenes stuff in social media or in my newsletter, but they're going to happen closer to the pattern release, where like now I'm working on my new book. So in January, whatever patterns I'm working on for my new book, you'll be seeing those in January. You won't be seeing them closer to the release date of the book. Does that make sense, guys? So that's one of the things too. Oh, your iPad shut down on you. I'm sorry. That's such a pain. Technology can be such a pain sometimes. And yes, okay. So yes, you made Deadhead socks. Yay, Kelly. I love those socks. I'm going to take this banner off, but again, just really quick. If you have a topic, please go to that link and give me a topic. I'm going to be probably on Friday. I'm going to go to that topic, that form, and see what topics I have and see if I can come up with at least through November if I can, just so you guys know. Okay, so I'm going to take that off. I'm going to take this off. Does anybody, before I do the giveaway, does anybody have any questions for me on anything? It doesn't have to be on what I just talked about, anything. I do want to tell you two things. First of all, if you got my newsletter, you saw this too, but I have a pattern with Forbidden Fiber, her 12 Days of the Resistance Club kit. In the newsletter, I said I didn't have a date. I finally have a date. Registration is going to close for that club on Friday. So if you are on the fence about getting that kit, you have until Friday to get it. It's 12 skeins of yarn. It's an advent. You'll get it. I think she's shipping it in late November. And there's 12 skeins of yarn, and every day you can unwrap. You can unwrap them all at once if you want to, but every day you can unwrap one. I have someone that's doing the kit that I did for her for Halloween that's actually posting on Instagram every day. She actually finishes a mini every single day on the project that, and she's posting it on Instagram. So you can open them once a day and then do part of the pattern, or you can just open them once a day as a little present for yourself and don't do the pattern until later. But it closes on Friday. So that's the link to that. And I'll make sure that is in the show notes after this is over, which I just realized how far over we're already. But we had a lot to talk about and a lot of questions. And then also Nanette Wake Studios Glacier National Park Mystery Yarn Club kit. I did a pattern for her that ends on October 31st. Okay, on Halloween. Now, one of the things I want to mention with this one, and I didn't know this until after the newsletter went out, she does not have her listing here for this kit set up so that it's the sock set. It's the way she has her yarn club set up is that you order the main hank and then you add the mini. So if you want to get the kit for the pattern that I did, that you will get no matter what you order as far as the Mystery Yarn Club, you will get, you want to order the 100 gram 80, she calls it a 80-15 100 gram skein. And that's the fingering weight. So you want to order that and you want to add the mini skein. And if you do that, you will get all the yarn that you need to make my pattern. It's a mystery. I can't tell you what it is, but I will tell you it's something that I make a lot of. So you guys should probably be able to infer what that might be. I make a lot of these patterns. And so if you're interested in getting that, I think the skein of yarn, the full hank is $29.95 and then $6.50 for the mini skein to go with it. So it's like $35.50, something like that. $36.50, something in that range. You get the yarn and the pattern, and plus she also does a couple other little things that are in the package as well for that. So that one's going to be the lower priced mystery pattern. The Forbidden Fiber I do know is $150 for you get the pattern, there's other things in there, and usually she has a project bag in there just so that you guys know. But there's other things in there. I don't know if this one's going to have the project bag. I know that the Halloween one did. So I'm not 100% sure, but it's Star Wars themed. It's a really fun pattern. I'll be releasing the pattern to the public next year, but if you would like to do it in the actual colors that I did, this is the way to get it. So, but that's, those two things are, the dates are coming. You've got what, 2 weeks roughly, a little less than 2 weeks for Nanette Wakes to order that one. And you have until Friday, this coming Friday, the 21st, to order the 12 Days of the Resistance. Okay. Any questions for me? I see there's some comments in here. Colleen says, not crochet related, but one thing I've loved learning is bobbin lace. Yes, I that's something I would love to learn someday. I need to have the time to do that. Spinning is even put on the back burner lately. So yeah, but I love bobbin lace. I love watching people do it. I love the finished pieces. So that's definitely something. Will she have a color planner instead of black and white? With the Forbidden Fiber one, she always sends it black and white. If you ask her, once you get the pattern, if you want it in color, you need to ask her if she can get you a color copy. If she's not willing to do that, then contact me when the pattern is released to the public. And then I will give you, I won't send it to you until the pattern's released to the public. Let's just put it that way. With the Nanette Wake Studio pattern, what she's going to do is she's actually going to give you a coupon code to go to my website and download the pattern. The pattern will not be shown to the public. You'll have a special private link until that pattern's released to the public. So, so if you buy the Nanette Wake Studio, she'll give you a download code and you download it from my website for free, and it will be in your, what do you call it? In your download section of your account on my website. Okay. I looked for the kit, but I couldn't find it on the website. You need to, if you're looking for the Forbidden Fiber one, you need to type in 12 Days of the Resistance in her search bar. If you are looking for the Nanette Wake Studio, you need to type in Glacier National Park in her web bar or her search bar, and you will find those kits. Oh, the Glacier kit. Yeah, the Glacier kit. Just I had the link right there for you. Let me put it back up here. The Glacier kit. This is the direct link to the kit. And if you got my newsletter, I've got the direct link to the kit there as well. So that's where you need to order from. So, and I will make sure these links are in the show notes. Anybody else have questions for me really quick? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to put this up one more time. If you're interested in winning a copy of Falling Leaves, I'm going to share my screen here again really quick to show you Falling Leaves first. So this is what I'm giving away right now. This is Falling Leaves. It's a one skein project or one hank project of fingering white yarn. And if you are interested in winning that pattern, I'm going to put the other one up now. Hang on. You need to enter. Someday I'm going to get something that'll allow me to switch screens a lot faster. You need to type in #leaves. So if you haven't done that already, I'm going to give you a countdown from 10, and then I'm going to hit draw. So type in #leaves in order to be entered to win. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to hit draw. And our winner is Stephanie in Texas. Yay! Congratulations, Stephanie. There's I'm going to put my confetti up too. Yay, Stephanie. So I will put that in your account when this is over. So I'm so excited that you won. Congratulations. Okay, so guys, I'm going to take this off the screen here. Okay, so yay, Stephanie. I'm seeing people come in and say, congratulations. You really wanted this pattern. Thank you. You're welcome. You are so welcome. Okay, so anybody else have any questions for me before we go? I know I talked a lot. I know there was a lot of information out there. It's a totally new concept for me too. What I'm going to be doing next year. I'm still trying to figure out my schedule for even all these things. I know for sure that the weekly, I think I'm going to call them coffee and chats or something like that, will be on Mondays. I think they're going to be at 8 a.m. Pacific time. The cool thing about those two will be that they will be recorded so that even if you can't attend live, they will always be in the Facebook group, just so you guys know. I'm so excited, Stephanie, that you won. If there's any other questions for me, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to sign off. We're 20 minutes past what we usually do. So next week, I will hopefully have a topic for you. Again, please, 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 please send me topics and let me know what you'd like. And make sure it's something that I can do in a half an hour or less. Anyway, have a great week and blessings to all of you. And I'm going to be praying for y'all this week. And I hope you have a great week, a great weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone. Oop, I forgot to do this. Okay. Bye, y'all.